Interesting year back at the NAC for Opera Lyra. They have a great new lineup set for the year, and joining us to talk about it, their General Director, Jeffries. Great to have you here on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
When you have productions, Carmen and Madame Butterfly, you know you're in for a pretty great year.
They are two of the most popular, most beloved, frequently performed operas. They're both great romantic tragedies. Either one, if a person has never been to the opera before, would be a very good place to start. And both of them are romantic, so they would be great date nights.
They're the type of operas that you hear the music and then all of a sudden you realize, I've heard this before, it's familiar.
Especially Carmen. People will come to the show and they'll recognize the music and they won't necessarily know where they've heard it before, but it's been used for lots of different movies and in television commercials and so forth, so it's very familiar.
The Olympics, I know a lot of figure skaters have done that.
Indeed,
there was a big Carmen thing, I remember years back.
Torval and Dean.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. The one thing that I thought was really interesting was learning how Opera Lyra really works, because you have the home base here, but you're using artists from around the world.
Well, indeed. The productions are mounted here. They're produced in Ottawa, but we bring the lead singers, the principal artists, from all over the world. We put an emphasis on Canadian talent, but for instance, in Carmen, the four main lead singers, one's Italian, one's American, and the other two are Canadians. Okay,
so how is the director bringing it together? Are there auditions? How is the production then being put together?
The cast is assembled here, and we bring in a director. In this case, we're very privileged to work with a guy named Bernard Uzan, who is one of the most renowned and respected directors working today. This is his 377th production. And
so he's experienced.
He's very experienced. And Bernard, over the course of his years in the business, has developed a broad array of tools to work with a cast. So he flirts, he tells jokes, he gets serious, he tells them stories. And even though these are established singers with international careers, he's able to bring out new aspects of their performances, to add new details. And he told me last night, he said, I've been doing this show for 30 years and I'm still learning. So it's a fascinating process to watch.
It's nice that he never gets bored working with the same material then.
Indeed, indeed. So
how long have they been in rehearsals, and then how long until, because the run starts, I mean, we're looking at it this weekend.
Right. They're in town, the principal artists are in town for about a month. Now, keep in mind, they're supported by the Opera Ottawa Chorus and the NAC Orchestra. So the bulk of the talent is from Ottawa, but we bring in the principal artists, and there are actually a couple of really good opera singers here in town, but we generally bring them the best singers we can find.
But you're using the NAC Orchestra and the choruses. So there is, I love that part, and you know that there's so many productions that come in and use the talent. There's so much of it here in Ottawa.
Indeed.
So is there a good opera scene here in the city?
There is. We have strong support ourselves, and there are actually two other small opera companies in town. So there's a lot of love for the art form. A lot of people are very enthused about it, and they're very supportive of Opera Lyra.
Well, I think with productions like Carmen and Madame Butterfly, I think you're in for a wonderful year. So people can, Carmen is running this weekend, so people can find tickets at NAC box office.
Well, I'll just say sales are strong, so if you're going to buy tickets for Carmen, you better do it pretty quickly. And we have performances on Saturday. That's the 7th, the 9th, the 11th, and the 14th of September.
Well, it's very encouraging, and congratulations. I know it's been a big year for you guys, and to be able to build this up. And if you have the opportunity to get out and enjoy these performances, two of the biggest names. The other one, Madame Butterfly, is going to be in the spring. Is that right?
In April, that's correct.
In April.